Good evening. It is Wednesday, December 17th, 6:34, starting the meeting of Oakland Free Library Trustees. We will start this evening with our minutes from November. They were sent out by Sarah. And wanted to know if anybody had any additions, any corrections. If not, could I have a motion to accept the minutes?
I'll make that motion.
Sue will make the motion and seconded by Joan. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed? Okay, the minutes are to record then. The second thing we'll have Erin give us our treasurer financial report.
Thank you, Linda. So just a real quick update tonight on the treasury side. Some highlights from income. We received $45 from Crandall Public Library to cover a loss of damaged book. Right now, we don't have a GL account to cover this specifically, so I'm putting it into GL when I find this best. There's like from the year from separate GL account so that we report this not necessarily fine, but so you can see, any type of monies or funds that come in for damaged items or lost items next year. It's here just for the eyes and for discerning that. That was the only highlight to me there. Also, in terms of expenses, same kind of thing here for library programs. Look at GL 8175 on the P&L statement. What you would see for this year for 2025 is that we budgeted $2,000, and what it's showing is that our actual expenses are $3,916.74. So slightly misleading. We're not necessarily over budget here because a lot of the expenses that have been categorized to this account were funded by grants, for example. So my recommendation for next year, it's very easy for us to have another line program so that we afford the library program that are borne by the library solely, and then costs that are funded by grants. This way you can actually see we actually over budget for what the library is spending out of its operational rather than in separated. Right. So that's the only thing that I wanted to highlight there. Again, we can think about it. I think it makes it much better from a reporting perspective. We don't need a decision tonight. It's just a very one day, doesn't affect the budget at all. But just wanted to call it out. If you are P&L statement, you might see that and be like, oh wow, it's $2,000. But in actuality, we're not. That's one thing I want to call out from the treasurer's report for this, and everything else will be.
When you have it in the budget that way, when you bring it all the way to the right, it still will be reflected in the pluses or minuses at the bottom line, right? So, but at least
It'll just be great. Also, that we don't have to like back in. It's like $1,600 for being for trees that's funded by grants, so I can back that out and actually see it.
right.
It's for the rental to that, so calculating it for actually what budget.
I think Michelle and you would also put notes in that note category too.
Yes.
That often helps explain that, which is also helpful.
Okay,
Yes.
and we'll continue doing that going forward. What it'll do is make it easier for the bookkeeper because we want to keep labor hours short.
Right, so that's
It'll make it a lot easier
Able to
for the
figure it out.
bookkeeper to that, and it'll be less time for that person.
okay, great. So then, thank you, and we'll go to the director's progress report.
Megan left me her director's report. She said last night's book club meeting went very well. Just a quick recap of events. Trivia night was well attended. We had in November, we had a total of 33 people in attendance. Coffee hour, the once a month event we have, is still very popular. We had 13 people attend in November. That was a last minute reschedule due to the snowstorm we had. Bolton After School program, we participated in 3 times this week or this month, and the adult writing workshop was at the beginning of November 6th. We only had 3 people in attendance for that, but it was very successful and they were all very enthusiastic, so kind of normal for us. And other than that, everything's going steady.
Great, anybody have any questions about anything?
So on the social media report side, switching hats here. I did want to point out that on the website, the state of New York has paid for something called Novel New York, NOVELNY. It's a state database and it's absolutely free. The state has paid for it to be posted on all library websites. Jack Scott and Amy helped out a lot putting up the link for Novel New York. It is basically a collection of databases. They're all organized by theme, agriculture, genealogy, things like that. They have a subscription to the New York Times. That's one of the categories. So you can simply go to the library's website, click on the link, Amy set up on that, the screenshot, and there's no sign in, there's no login. You just go and it's chock full of research papers, data, information, resources, all by category.
Like clear legal stuff, like it's like example countries.
Yeah, really, it's something to explore.
Like
There's
That's
a lot there.
So if somebody wanted to come in and read today's New York Times, would they be able to go through there?
They could do it right through the free library website, click on the link for novel.
You don't have to like search for a specific, like it would pull up just like.
Yeah, when we initially started exploring it, it was a little awkward to use, so I'll play with it some more when I have some time, so I can
There were
better help with that.
I was kind of curious because of the gentleman who wanted the New York
Right.
Times to be here.
Right.
You would like it unless it's in front of him.
Yeah, I know, but we'd be able to say, this is very low. But it sounds like it's more divided into articles about certain topics and things, as
I think
opposed
so.
to December 18th, New York Times, right, you know.
But I've got to get in there and figure out a little more how best to use it.
Well, that's
It'd
exciting.
be a good resource, it's been advertised.
Okay. Anything to do with any of those other social media?
No, we're holding steady on numbers, no change in our Instagram followers, Facebook, we're slowly climbing up to about 1,200 followers. Our content, I try and post 2 to 3 posts a day to keep it steady. Our content had 13,444 views over the last 28 days when I made the report. And that's pretty normal for this time of year. It's pretty, unless we have a post go somewhat viral. It always helps if you're on Facebook, just pull up the library page and you don't have to even comment, just like the post. And that helps a lot with the algorithm too, so.
Did we get some people getting in touch with us about Megan's retirement?
Yes, quite a few. I had a lot of people email questions. The Chronicle managing editor Kathy Dede has asked for a photograph of Megan, and Megan said it's okay for me to send one. So I think they're going to post that information. I'll send the photo in tomorrow and tell her to call and get more information. I had a couple of people on the Facebook web post ask how can they share a memory if they can't come. So I put my email up there and I'll do an additional posting. They send me any memories you may have and I'll put them all on a document and print it out. For Megan, we can have that on a display table at her open house, and then that's something she can take home with the comment who said it or the memory who said it.
Oh, that's nice. Really nice.
How about the mirror?
Haven't heard back from them, but I sent it to all the press release Sunday to all the major the 6 newspapers that we designated. Sent it to everybody in town I can think of.
If you don't hear in the next couple of days, but you'd like Hal to call.
Sure,
Okay.
sure, that'd be great.
For some reason, he said, he isn't responding. I'll call.
I haven't heard back yet as of about 4 p.m. today, so,
That was,
but I just sent it Sunday too.
oh, okay.
And do we, before our meetings, are we still posting on Facebook our meeting times and
Yes.
people could just
I do it,
join
I
during
post it every Sunday, there's a 72-hour in advance requirement to notify the public of the meeting, so I post sometime on Sunday, and then I post again Wednesday morning.
Yeah, so it's funny, sometimes they come right at, sometimes you don't get them, so I don't understand. how
I
they
just
pop
changed
out.
all my notifications to like have it on.
Okay, there is a way to do that, right? Pull it
Yes.
up so that it comes first. Yes, thank you. I already told her about my space stuff.
Call everybody else to sign. I guess.
Okay.
Yeah, I did. Thank you.
Okay, so that brings us down to the committee reports. The executive committee doesn't have anything. Oh, I think. Oh, we do for the directors, we do, right, treasurers we don't, but could I have a motion to accept the director's progress and service report? Tracy, motion, and Mary will second. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed? So moved. Thank you. The committee reports nothing for executives, so we'll be back with Karen in the financial.
All right, so to start off, with the annual appeal update, so as of last Friday, annual appeal stands at $15,320 across 172 donors. It's extremely generous every time we get a donation from somebody from the community. Just for your knowledge right now, the average donation for 2026 appeal year is currently $89 per donor. Last year's appeal, the average donation was $100.18 per donor. So we're going to watch this and see how that trends over time. In terms of the update on the transition to the bookkeeper, so the bookkeeper has received access to QuickBooks and has also received a copy of the latest financial reports so that she can begin to understand how to produce them and format them. I've been in contact with the bookkeeper rather frequently. She feels very comfortable jumping right in, doesn't really have any questions, but we're actually going to meet again a few times just to go over some things. I will be providing what's called the chart of accounts to the bookkeeper. It's essentially a log or all of the GL codes for our accounting system, along with notes that go with it that show like which vendors go which GL accounts, just as a quick reference guide to her. It is important as well for like the finance committee to have this and I'll be transitioning that to you as a quick reference guide because everything that's handed to the bookkeeper going forward, just as it's provided to me right now from library staff and from other people, it needs to be coded to the appropriate GL code. This way, the library is determining what allocation or assignment those income receipts or those expenses go to, and then the bookkeeper is just entering that information to the system. So that chart of accounts is definitely going to help, and I'll be finding ways to make it very easy for the finance committee or for library staff to quickly identify what GL code goes on appropriate invoices.
Do you have dates yet to meet her, or are you still getting?
I was gonna wait till tomorrow to coordinate with you guys and trying to just get everything up here and kind of reach out to you guys tomorrow.
Okay.
What's good over the next few weeks?
All right, got it.
In terms of also the treasurer transition updating, this is also key. Really continuity of operations here is the operative goal, right? We're really trying to aim as much as possible to foster seamless handoff. The treasurer, once we identify that treasurer, finance committee members to finance committee members, trustees to trustees. Really, it should be about never really having to rely on, for example, me just for all of the information. So I'm disseminating as much information to the finance committee as possible. Because I will not be geographically here after my transition, what we're going to start doing in terms of that continuity of operations is ensuring that all bills and invoices for the library will start transitioning to a master email account for the finance committee, rather than just to like my individual email or for example, Megan's individual email. This way, library bills, invoices, accounts, everything can continue service regardless of who is treasurer or on the finance committee. And then I have a few activities that I will be transitioning to the finance committee. This is us at some point in the next few weeks. Show you some important things about bank deposits, bank reconciliations, credit card reconciliations, and treasurers. We'll go over that. A lot of this will have to be done because I just geographically be here to do this. But I will be available virtually to kind of help you guys and walk you through this. I'm also putting together a checklist for at least the first 2 months of every date and day of the week that something has to be done. So that this way there's no kind of surprises or guessing. It's almost like, you know, you have a list of here's what needs to be done on what day, and that will help you guys move forward. Any questions on that before we move forward to this topic?
I just have one question here. I'm talking about the mail. Will that impact me because I do pick up the mail several times a week for the library?
That's a really good question. I don't anticipate that it will. Some of the bills will still continue to come via paper, snail mail, to the post office, so nothing should change on your end for that.
Yeah, because I think there's duplication, you know.
Exactly, there
between
is,
what's happening.
yeah, sometimes I get the bill electronically and it also.
I have one question back to the appeal thing. The, do we have any history of this time last year, how much was in?
We
Or not
do,
really?
it's a little, what we probably should do, cause like we sent out the appeal much earlier this year than we
Yeah,
did
so it's
last
kind of
year.
hard to,
So what we
Apples
kind
to
of look
apples.
at is like maybe week by week, right? Like first week after the letter went out, year over year, second week after the letter went out, year over year. That might be a way that we can do it apples to apples. More
Okay.
accurately.
just I'm curious, but I mean, just the amount per donor does give a pretty good story though too. And 172, I think the total amount of givers last year was 226 or something. Oh, was that many?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, so there could still be another 100 people that haven't given yet.
Exactly, you know,
Right.
the a good uptick in January, February, hopefully, although, you know, we had talked about the current economic situation, how this may result in lower income people expect, but that remains to be seen, right? So.
But I know there's a letter accounted for. Because I brought mail this week and I can tell the envelopes, you know, that they're for the donations. And so they're in the safe, I believe.
Yes,
I
they're in the
haven't had a chance to get to.
I'm coming tomorrow morning.
Yeah, that's good. Well, I tried to get them because you have a few extra
Yes.
minutes, yeah.
She's trying to get them to you while they're still hot.
Yeah.
Instead of- We don't want them to cool down.
I got the appeal letter go out last year, like,
Yes, I think it hit right at the December, the Giving Tuesday, which was the timing we were going for this time. But this time, the people who took like 2.5 weeks last year must have taken 2 days.
Oh.
And and we're like, what? You took it up? You weren't supposed to be that fast, you know? So, but I don't think it'll hurt that it was there earlier, but
I was just curious. But
yes. Yeah, it was probably 3 weeks different, 3 weeks earlier than last year. It's at least 3 weeks earlier. So,
We'll have to see how it plays out, right? And then the board can decide next year, it's better to send it earlier, later,
yes,
figure out.
right. So, okay, sorry about that. Okay,
So the CD rollover, Amy and I went to the bank last month on November 18th, 19th, and rolled over the CD. We got the best rate possible, which was actually a 3-month rate. So what this means is that the CD will to be rolled over again on February 19th. The finance committee support for you guys will need to recommend rolling over the CD to the board or any other course of action should the situation of the libraries warranted at the January board meeting. Authorized signatories, which are currently Amy and Linda, would need to go to the bank if the board approves a rollover, and they would need to go to the bank February 18th and 28th. Next year to roll over the CD if it is voted and approved by the board to do so. I will be available to assist you remotely in evaluating what your CD options are. As for library situation at that time.
so we will actually be voting on it before we know what the rate is gonna be. That's the only thing that she just,
That's what happened this time as
Too.
well,
Right.
because the rates fluctuate daily, and I'm not sure when your board meeting is in February. And what if your board meeting is, so the rollover date is gonna be February 19th, that's the third Wednesday of February is the 18th, the fourth Wednesday is the 25th. The only thing that I worry about when you get that close to that, you know, it's literally the same week as the rollover, if you don't achieve form in February, it's something to think about, so, okay.
Well, I can't imagine that whatever it is, it's what we voted down. I mean,
Right,
whatever
it
the
is.
finance committee wants, is what we're
I think we just have to, I think we would be voting if having the confidence that the finance committee is going to make the decision for the best rate. So, you know, I don't think there's no reason we couldn't do it on January's meeting, even if it's a month later to roll it over. So we'll make sure that's on the agenda.
Okay, perfect. And you can obtain the current rates for January just to see where they're at. Because Fed did lower interest rates recently, and so you know, you can see where they're at. And then make a decision to there, knowing that the rates are gonna fluctuate. Any questions? Okay. For the TD Affinity program, we have 4 remaining participant signups that are needed in order to receive the contribution. When it's this late in the season like that, there is potential unlikelihood that we will make that contribution limit. So Megan and Sarah have been pounding the pavement in terms of getting social media out, putting flyers in the bathroom. Megan has made some public appeals to folks coming into the library. We hope that 2 or 3 more people are going to sign up. That seemed rather promising, but that's not a given yet, right? So really, unless there's like some, I think, Hail Mary that could be achieved between then, it's not during that we are going to receive that contribution. So what I have done, we originally in November budgeted $1,500 to be received from that program. I have removed that budget so that the library could continue to operate without that income, should that, you know, that actually occur. If we do receive 4 signups, which would be amazing, then the board can choose to allocate that.
What we say last month that we did for, nobody?
Nobody has signed up.
Well, you probably got everybody before.
There was one more. Yeah.
Well, there was a lady here that said her family has 3 accounts, but whether she left from here, but said no for that.
So there's okay. Yeah, right then.
Monday night after trivia at Frederick's, Megan went around the room, trivia was over. Stocking up the TD Bank program, so she.
Oh, sure.
Yeah. Extra.
That's good.
Paid for everything.
If they actually go through that, we would get there, yeah, so. Now, fingers crossed, we know people, it is something for the fundraising and marketing committee to consider next year, to really take this up. Early on in the season, so you don't have to worry about the last minute scramble. Towards the end of the year, it could be, you know, however you choose to organize that.
I guess what's always a mystery is how many total, and do you have to get then a certain amount more new each year?
Exactly.
So in other words, if we've had 30 all along, maybe some dropped out, maybe some didn't, but do we have to get like 10 new ones?
If you have to, I think, and exceed your previous number of registrations from the prior year. So every year, you kind of have to grow the number of participants in your program.
Whether it's small.
Yes, exactly. So it will become increasingly difficult every year. You know, if we grow even by 5 or 10 people every year, then you gotta exceed that. We don't want to do.
Yes. That's true. Yeah, we might have to say, no, don't sign up till next year. So it's weird.
It is, you know, in some ways it's easier than, you know, having an actual fundraiser, it's less physical effort, but at the same time, it's that constant worry of constant balancing.
At the farmer's market, we can tell them, go across the street.
Yeah, that's right. It's really
Stand in the ATM, hey, one in.
So then the next, let's see. So the next topic is the budget, okay? I sent that out yesterday, you know, everybody had a lot of homework to get through over the last 24 hours. I really appreciate everything that you guys do to review that information. Just to highlight what's different from what you saw in November versus now. The proposed balanced budget for 2026, $128,375. What you saw in November, the current version that you saw last night, this is $2,115 less than what you saw in November. That budget was $130,490. This is due to the reduction of the income related to the Tea Bank Affinity Program. That was, we removed $1,500 income from that. And we reduced the expected annual appeal income by $615. So that's where that difference comes in terms of the size of the budget from November to now. What's been updated in this current version is we now have the labor estimates for 2026 received from the Personnel Committee and incorporated into the budget. That includes the taxes, the wages, and removal of health insurance premiums that we were paying in 2025 for the director. The SAL's joint automation fees that you see in GL County 516, these are still unknown. We've been in contact with SAL's, we have not received updated information yet. So what I did is I increased it slightly. 3,700 last year to $4,000. Just here now. Plus here, but those are still unknown percent or it will be. So that's the only updates really to the budget from November to now. So I wanted to just open up the floor to everybody to ask questions either to myself or to the finance committee about the budget.
I enjoyed reading the notes.
I tried to make it as like detailed as possible. This way, when I'm not here next year, you can get treasurer and I'm not sure it's gonna be on the finance committee. You could literally follow, hopefully, the story of my notes back and get to that accurate budget. Any other questions, comments, concerns about the budget?
Thank you, that was a lot of
Yes,
work.
I know.
It's so nicely organized with color coding, with columns. And again, those notes were really fun. I think that really made it more palatable, to be able to understand it. But thank you. That's a lot of work.
Great. I have to thank Amy and Linda too. I mean, they've sat there with me and gone through every single line item and we scrutinized every line item, so.
You guys all did a great job.
Yeah. So, if no further questions or concerns from everybody, financing, that's said review the proposed 2026 operating budget and recommend acceptance.
All those in favor, say
Aye.
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 Those opposed? Okay, we've got a new budget. Everybody keep their hands on their wallets.
Yeah.
So, and then the next one is, Sarah's contract. I'll take this if you don't mind, Erin. I sent that out to everyone, and asked you to take a look at it, and everybody came back to me and said everything looked fine. They didn't have any additional questions. So, the finance and the personnel committee would like to, recommend that we give this contract to Sarah to review. So all those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Okay, then Sarah, if you could look it over, see how you feel about it, and then maybe let us know by next week if you decide to accept it, and then sign it. Okay, good to go. Okay. It's gonna be an exciting year, hopefully. All right, the policies and procedures, nothing to report on that. The long range plan, we have another big item.
Well, I think our committee did a great job. I really think they did. Dave Baker put together the original. Kate Baker put together the original plan would allow us to have all the pie charts and bar charts. So I hope everybody had a chance to read it. Anybody have any questions?
No, it was extremely well done, and the graphs and everything, several people mentioned really added to it. And so this will be a great framework for our programming in the future and where we go from here. And if anybody else can think of other things we should be doing with this in terms of distributing it to the community, it's just something we, in addition to putting on our website, would we want to announce it in some way on social media? To be,
I could upload the document to Google Docs and put a link up. That way, both on the website and on social media, right? Letter.
okay,
For people to read it, open it, read it.
and then maybe one of us could get to the next township meeting and let them know.
And copies to each other.
Yes, yeah, we could do that. We could do that.
Find out who our new board representative is.
Right, right. That would be a good time to do that. So,
What is it?
it's at the first Tuesday. Is that what they are?
I can go to that.
Yeah, that would be great. Since you're involved in that, that would be great because you'd be able to answer any questions or any that people have. But so I guess the long range plan then would like to put forward this long range plan committee putting forth the plan. All those in favor of accepting this plan, say aye. Aye. Those opposed? Okay, we got a new plan. Awesome stuff. All right. So that brings us to fundraising. We do have something going on. We have a winter basket that was donated by Mary Sinise, Amory Sinise. And so we are doing some Facebook announcements on that. I guess the sale's going pretty well.
I don't know.
Yes, you've not been here too much in the last couple weeks. But we'll have several events coming up, coffee hours and things like that, but we can promote that. So that should be very helpful. I think in the past, the winter basket has made several $100. So, hopefully we'll have that again.
I don't know. What are?
Yes, I mean, it doesn't, the one thing that's different about this one is there's not a lot of different things. It's just there's one
Right.
thing. So on their drawer tracking sheet, I think it says raffle already, right?
I think there is one, so we.
So
get away
take a
with
look
that.
at how she's been putting it so far and see if that's sufficient for what you need or kind of something new.
I'm sorry, what's the drawing?
Not till February, mid-February.
Okay, I'll be sure it's updated this way, and the bookkeepers were like reporting on the income, it's clear for her.
Great.
It'll be something that-
And the other thing we wanted to mention is that Joan is going to be gone from the 22nd to the 3rd. So she's I know. So
I need
she's not gonna be able to pick up the mail. Okay. So do we need it?
There's an extra key, I believe, here in the library.
I can chat.
Yeah, I can give you mine. I can leave it here at the
And I
library.
wrote the wrong date here.
do go, but you didn't.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes it's absolutely nothing. Got overwhelmed a lot with all the donations that came in, so it just varies, you never know. It's an easy box to find, I can show somebody where it is.
It's like during the annual appeal going on now, it's here by like Wednesday, like that before they close, that's helpful. I come from Thursday before the library opens to do the appeal deposit.
So you don't necessarily go every day, but like every other day.
You know, my own mail is there too, so
Yeah.
I have a reason to go on a regular
Right.
basis.
Right.
Yeah, it's not hard, it's really easy. I just have a little side note if I could have a few minutes.
Sure.
I had the pleasure last Friday to participate in the activity, review the activity of the recreation of Henry Knox's trip, bringing the cannons down tied to Lake George Village. And it was very interesting. At the end, over at the high school, they had a well-known historian, Rick Atkinson. He was selling books. And I couldn't resist. I bought this book. He has signed it, and it's for our library.
Oh my God.
So I just, this was like, I mean, it was a last minute thought, but I said, I better do this. You know, it's a once in a lifetime chance. Plus, I'd love to have a signed, book by an author. And incidentally, who do I run into but Ted Caldwell? He was there as well. Linda told me that a group from the town came over to see that. I didn't interact with anybody.
And the seniors to did that event too. So why don't we do a little thing on that social media about that
Absolutely.
book and that we have it here signed by the author and for anybody who was interested in that event that just happened.
Well, there's an earlier book, but this is the one that relates to our area, so that's why I chose this book with the first one. And then also they gave out these little flags. So the lady who does that display, this is the colonial flag. You see, it's got, British out there, but we have the 13 colonies represented here. So she wants to add that to her collection.
Yeah,
Nice.
Yes,
Thank you very much for that, Joan.
You're
Very
welcome.
thoughtful.
Yeah. And here was the program if anybody's interested.
Do a little display with that.
Oh, yeah. that'd be
Oh, yeah, we can put that all in there or.
Very nice.
Can I turn it over?
Oh, very nice. Thank you, Joan.
Oh, you're welcome.
That's great. All right, buildings and grounds, nothing's really new to report with that, we're just still working, on the grant, I think, for, and I'll be talking that a little bit, the grants for the handicap doors. And we need to get together to wash the windows at some point, but, nothing else.
At this point, yes, the water.
I know, we might have to wait till we either have a warm day or wait till the spring. So anything new with the book sale?
Well, Laverne French brought in a lot of Rita French's books, and she had a lot of his mom's books. She had a lot of hardcovers, and a lot of paperbacks that filled like 2 different boxes. She had these Louis L'Amour, like a whole thing. So anybody interested? Louis L'Amour books, they're up there. And I think the Christmas books I'll just put underneath in the boxes.
Yes,
For
I
next
mean,
year.
we out of that, I think you had gotten over 100 books.
Yeah.
Probably only gave away about 40 of them.
Right, so.
Yeah, that's a last event to give away any
Right.
books, right? So I guess we could just keep them, until next year. And on to grants, what do we have with grants? Here, Sarah?
We heard from Norwal, we had asked for $6,000 for the door conversions to meet ADA standards, and we got 2,500, which was great, because while we were waiting for the grant approval, we also learned that we didn't need to do replacements, so the 2,500 should cover it. Carla's been talking with the person who's gonna do the switcheroo for the door and the material, so on that. And I've been in contact with Jane, we're gonna get together, sometime in December, trying to do a date when she's gonna be in, when she's coming back. And, we're gonna plan out the next quarter, Stewart's holiday match has opened up, but that's not due until the end of January, so we have time with that. And then Adirondack Foundation and Sierra Wood are coming up for the regular grant cycles. So if you have any ideas for grant writing projects, we have the usual suspects we'll be discussing. Birthday books for the kids, the holiday gift program for BASP and for the town, for the tree lighting, and some other plans, but if there's anything else, let us know. We'll do that. I think so too. A lot of people miss that big bullet board out front, and it was a nice way to stop and get all the info.
And if you could put it up parallel to the road and have it 2-sided, people could see it as they go by.
I don't know about that because we put up there like flyers like this size,
Yeah.
but it's
So,
summer.
I mean, just that they know it's there.
Oh, foot traffic,
Because
yes.
I tell you this.
They can't read it.
Right. At a book sale, I don't know how many times I heard, I didn't even know this library was here, there's no good sign. That'd be a good sign.
I know. Interesting.
And we have your program too, right, that
Yes.
you're interested in, so that would be a good one to get a grant or help, use a
Talk
grant.
about the prizes that we were talking
Prizes
about.
for that, so. Which, did we put that on here? Yeah, and the new, okay. That's great. So, okay. Personnel, we talked about, giving the offer to Sarah, plus we are going to, work toward having Tammy in a regular rotation, working here a couple days a week, which will be great. And then we will start looking for someone else, sometime, after the first of the year, okay? Just to help out too, we'll need even coverage for when Sarah needs off and, for Tammy needs off or anybody, so we'll have to get at least one more person to have, to help in the rotation until we get it so more permanent. Sunshine Committee.
Okay, thank you to Vicky Dodd for the writers workshop, Michelle Pollock for setting up paperwork, and Becky Herrick. That's all related to the writers workshop.
How about, should we send one to Kate Baker for helping with the long range program?
I was gonna ask about that. There will be a long range plan, but do you want her on it, or do you want me to tell her thank you, goodbye? What?
Well, I think you still keep the committee because it may have to be reviewed every once in a while, but it'll be a lot easier committee to be on anymore because we really won't have to look. I mean, some surveys may still come in that'll have to be looked over, and
But she doesn't have it, she didn't have that, so
no,
it's hard to do from.
no. Is that where she moved to?
Well, she said already.
Okay, so do we send it to her local address?
I can find some good addresses.
Okay.
I'm sure it can.
Right, just to thank her for the work that she did for you guys. Is there anybody else that's done programs? I heard there was maybe as we go through programs, that will jog our memory.
That was our Nancy Kimball, but we did give her a donation to her wildlife.
Right,
rehab.
okay.
That Linda Bennett's her assistant.
Right.
That was very successful. I don't think so off the top of my head.
Okay, maybe as we go through the rest of this, we'll have something to look at, John.
If we haven't done one to Tops and Cindy Singamore, manager, she continues to give us donations of baked
I'm not
goods.
sure she.
How did she?
Well, I just went looking for some donations and I got the name somebody, Scott Clark, Clark.
Okay.
They said he was watching two stores, the other one was in Squirrel Lake, so it's in the road.
Okay.
So I think it's very,
Right.
so thank you for the warning.
The monthly coffee
Monthly
dish. She's the one who donated all those brand new wrap DVDs to us when they completed out their summer supplies. She's been very good at the library.
So, okay, then that's the end of the committee reports, but I have did someone make a motion to accept the committee reports?
I'll make that motion.
Second. Tracy, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed. Okay, then we'll move on to unfinished business. We have the sassafras yoga classes. I did reach out to Stephanie to say that we're ready to start yet, but we're gonna, look at it again after the first of the year and get in touch with her to see if we can make that happen. The annual election and meeting, hopefully everybody is able to make that date.
January 14th. We do have to vote. We need signups for the election. That usually goes from 10 o'clock to 5 o'clock.
Library's open. And then when the library closes, it gives you like an hour to count.
Okay, is everybody able to, I mean, is there,
Excuse me, was there a discussion about extending the hour for voting because some people were still coming from work?
yes, but if the meeting starts at 6:30, so I guess we could keep it going till 6 and still, I mean, it's not an overwhelming amount to count. So 10 to 6 would be okay. Is there anyone that could be there any part of the time? I'll take the 10 to 12. And then if we do to
And help.
I think we're supposed to have 2 people there per shift, right?
I'll do with you. I'll do the 10 o'clock, right?
Maybe maybe, is it, do you remember?
I don't, I can look it up and, I would imagine so.
I think
Wanna
we
have
have to.
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
epic thing.
Or, so Sue, you'll come with me
Yeah.
at 10?
Yeah.
Okay.
If you move me up then.
Then Joan, you'd be able to do 12 to 2?
Yeah, the next thing, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Do 2 to 4. Okay. 4 to 6.
I can do 4 to 6.
You'll still be around then?
Yeah.
Okay. And then I'll see if Lynn and or Jean. Just contact the Tracy, you worked, oh, you have kids.
Yeah, I might be able to do the 2 to 4. Oh,
Okay.
I can let you know.
I'll put the,
Yeah, I'm so very good for that.
okay, I don't know, I'll put a question mark there, and then I'll see if Lynn, I don't know if Jane will be around, but I don't think it has to necessarily be a board member.
I think last year Deanne Reed volunteered. She was
Yes,
one of them.
Right, and I think as long as there's 1 board member there, so we can
And I'll be
always,
here all day anyway, so I might be
Yes.
able to count as a second.
I can ask, and Carla might even help with something like that, she's always good. So I'll see if they can do either of those times. So that's, I'm sorry.
10 to 6 is the overall thing.
Yes, we'll make it 10 to 6 so that for the people who work. So they'll be there. Now, the next thing I had on the agenda was brought up, this fire hall is on the 3rd Wednesday of the month, and that makes it hard for Tracy.
No, so my husband, fire department for Bolton, and their mandatory training is also for Thursday of the month. My dad's been watching Brady for those weeks, but I don't wanna have to do it if I continue on. I don't want him to have to do it every month. So I had asked Linda if we could switch to the 3rd Wednesday, so that he was going to.
So does that affect anyone else? Is that what the 3rd?
It does affect the finance committee, the keeper and the treasurer because of the accounting cycle, the way things are running. So it's not impossible, but we would have to look at from a finance committee perspective, compressing the review timeline that the library has of the financial reports because
So because you send the,
so the week before, so basically I close the books when it's the 3rd. So for example, this meeting and the previous month were both on the 3rd Wednesday of the month. It ends up, it's a really close time frame between closing the books and then writing the financial reports. It's doable, it's just really compressed because sometimes you have bills coming into the next month that were for prior month services. Usually it doesn't go much later than the 10th, it just really compresses that time frame.
We know every first.
No, like
Cause then you would have to be doing 2 months
The
before.
fourth, a different day.
It's
It's just a couple fourth Tuesdays or something.
Yeah, I have to, the day isn't, the day of the week isn't as concerning
It's
as
the
the
week, okay.
week, for example. It's doable, but what I think it would do is the finance, the treasurer and the finance committee would have a short cycle to prepare and review, because again, now you're gonna have a bookkeeper preparing the reports. No big deal, right? She can probably work to that timeline, but it does constrain the finance committee, the treasurer, and the accuracy of those reports. And preparing the treasurer's email and then giving it to the board members. So the margin that we can make up is by, if the board members are okay, like I send it every Saturday before the board meeting, the financials. If the board is okay receiving those reports, maybe on the day before the board meeting. So if your board meeting is like the third Wednesday of the month, everybody would receive the financials on the third Monday of the month instead of Saturday. It just shifts everything over 2 days for that would be, yeah, so the next round.
Oh, yeah, next month I'll be gone the last week too, so I was kind of hoping if we were able to do it for next month. And then we do it already for November and December. I thought, well, maybe we could do it on the third week of, because there are a lot of holidays like Memorial Day that are changed into the things like that. But
It's not impossible, like, I've done it fine for November and December, I just don't know. Treasurer.
Yes,
finance
don't.
committee, it's totally doable, and I would definitely suggest just probably compressing everything, like giving the board Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday to review the financials, that gives the treasurer, sure needs, finance. That's the other consideration, you guys. I don't think that would prevent you guys from having that on the third.
How about if we try it for January and February, and then at February's meeting, we can talk about it. We can see how it works for both the bookkeeper, whoever we have to do treasurer. I mean, if we don't have a treasurer, Sarah and I may have to figure out how to get the information, out to people too. So there are a lot of unknowns, but I do know for sure that I can't make the last Wednesday next month. So if we can try to go ahead and do next month's meeting.
It's 21st.
Isn't that school vacation?
No, it's
No,
just,
it's February, I'm
it's,
sorry.
the third week of February is,
Yeah, school vacation.
that's perfect.
Maybe on the 14th, but again, first.
I know that means 2 weeks in a row, but just to let you know, that annual meeting, literally, we're here for 20 minutes. We basically have, do we have the minutes from last year? Did they get distributed right after that meeting, or did they just get distributed right before this one? Like
I don't know, I'll have to look and see what the protocol is. They are up on the website though for the links.
That's true.
There's a January annual meeting document with links, and then there's a January board meeting, monthly board meeting document links.
Right. Okay. Yeah, we haven't announced the meetings for this month yet. It's not on, I mean, for this year yet. So, would we need to do that as a vote, do you think? To change it to the third, or for the first two? Yes. Right.
Yeah. The date is set as the board, so I think if we make it a change, it would have to be.
If it's a permanent change.
Right.
We have to vote on it now. Well, let's vote on it now to do it for January and February, revisit it, and if it works out okay, then we may have to change government's documents. Are you saying that's in the bylaws or in the?
Yeah.
It's like, it asked. Would everybody be okay for that? The third week of February too? Just to,
I mean,
yeah, because of the,
yes.
the, okay. That, the library museum passes, that's something that we can look into for this next year. And as we were talking about Megan's retirement, tomorrow I'm picking up the plaque, giving her bracelet. For the reception, we're gonna have cake. If anybody wants to bring or give some finger foods, she's a crackers or anything like that. Oh, that'd be great. It'd be good to have something healthy with the cake. So, or cheese and crackers, something like that. So, and try to stop by at some point. They'll probably.
Ooh, I love that word.
Jane is going to do the announcement, talk a little bit about Megan's 10th year, and Sarah has done an amazing job of getting together all the information, getting it disseminated out to all kinds of places. So there shouldn't be anybody that doesn't know about it. So that's great. Is there anything else anybody could think of that we should do for that? All right. So hopefully she'll be thrilled with all that.
Sarah, are you coordinating? Who's coordinating? So that the refreshments group can get together to know what's going on. Probably.
Well, in terms of what, in addition, other information, we have the time. And we said we would have Jane do the announcement half hour into
Are
it.
we cutting the cake right beginning because people are coming in and out all day? So wait till the announcements.
I'm gonna make remarks and kind of do a formal thing, or it's very casual.
I would recommend that when it starts, give a little time for it to start after the half hour and Jane makes her remarks.
We've got
Then
to coordinate Jane.
Then have Megan cut the cake.
Yeah, and then whoever comes after that.
Yeah.
And we'll put, after tomorrow night's Paint with Patrice, I've got half of a sidewalk sign out there. We're gonna put Megan's open house, retirement open house on that. And we could, I don't know, have them for the maybe we can figure out something like, 1:30 PM cake cutting or remarks or,
We'll just have to figure out the time.
or I can add something to them.
What time
is
her?
it's
2 to 6, so it'll
Okay,
be
2 to
6.
Yeah,
And what's the date
ready.
again? I'm ready.
30th, the 30th.
Gotcha.
Yeah. And she wanted to do trivia afterwards, so that's why we picked the time. Yeah. And in the bylaws, it says that goes back to the meeting requirements.
Okay.
The regular meeting shall be held each month, the date and hour to be set by the board at each monthly meeting.
Okay.
So, no more leeway with,
Okay. All right, then let's just do, February the 3rd, Wednesday, and then we'll reconvene at that time and see if that's going to, we'll have all the dates figured out and see if that'll. If it's too tight, we can see if we can get together. Yeah, that's something awful. This is the
I saw that,
agenda.
and there
Yes.
everybody's tired.
And then renew Amazon Prime. I believe that our Amazon Prime is still free.
Yeah.
We did it, right?
Yeah, I hope that it's free.
Okay. Okay. Well, that's a reason from now on. Okay. The business Amazon Prime, we're not sure if we're gonna get that free forever. If it's just
I don't
for
think,
one
when
month.
Megan looked into it, it looked like the first year was free.
Okay.
And then there's a fee after that. We had, I think it was like $350 a year, so it was quite expensive.
Wow.
Um,
We haven't religion, so.
no, when we added up what we saved using it, it was over 600. So it's definitely worth it, but I would imagine with nonprofits, there's some kind of,
Well, she just sent something out that in the renewal, and it said the renewal was 0.
Yeah, that's what I saw.
Yeah.
just
So,
recently.
I
a couple
thought
weeks
that.
ago. a couple weeks ago. So we may get one more year for free, but we probably should look at this, see if it will always. Or if it's not free, I also wonder if there is at least a nonprofit price rather than the business $350.
Right.
There's a nonprofit. So. All right, so everybody did their sexual harassment. Thank you for getting that done. Is that what got cut off?
Yes.
I think. Okay. Oh, okay. There was more than one thing. I got cut off right here. So.
New York Sarah's resignation and then your
Okay. Megan is here to. I know we have a thing on the wall, and Lynn and I are both on call for that. But probably will we take, because you're not close to here like Megan was.
Right, definitely want people who are very close to the
I
area.
would hear the better.
You would
Your
hear.
bedroom, so then I can wake them up.
Yeah.
You're right here, right? So
Okay.
I mean,
So
that'd be wonderful.
why don't you just move me up to 1 and Lynn
Okay.
to 2 and add Tracy if you don't mind as number 3. And then it's just that the alarm company would call us if there's a problem, right? I should review that again. Maybe we'll put that on the agenda for next month to look at that and see if there's anything else we need to do with that. I know it's hanging back the wall by a smart, but it would be good for Lynn and I to come in and review it, maybe Tracy too, just kind of look at it again.
Kind of refresh yourself.
Just refresh ourselves of what that responsibility is and what we're supposed to do, and the codes to put in and stuff like that. So that would be good. We'll put that for next month. In fact, we'll put that under buildings and grounds. And what else did it got cut off there?
Sarah's resignation.
Okay, and that was received. Bills. All right, so the trustee training requirements, everybody got done all of those as well. That's wonderful, good job. And now let's see if Amy can do 2 things at once by telling us about the library town while she takes notes on it again. So.
But I talked to Sarah a little bit, we started kind of brainstorming here. One of the things we would be talking to people at the school, we were trying to find out when there was at least a little lull in extracurricular activities, because the kids were always so busy doing all kinds of stuff. March came up a few times, so we were thinking of targeting, kind of maybe start it right before February break and have it run through March. And then have it come up with different ways for people to work buddies. So whether you read, whether you visit the library, find something on the calendar and go to it. And one of the things I'd like is that if anybody has any ideas of other ways to earn points. But the idea would be that people would earn points and they could come and basically buy prizes with their points. So the more points you have, the more prize you get. And then try and get grand prizes. It would depend on what we can get or what. So part of my ask would be for a donation campaign that we would want to coordinate both with the people we've been asking. Be cognizant of what we just asked for Megan's. And then the pickleball we're planning to do. So if we want to somebody to say like we're still planning to pickleball and we want to do one or the other or both. But I think if we did small prizes like a little Jovin from pencils or something for, we have to kind of
I think we have to have it like
figure out like what levels of points to give different prizes at, and then have a bunch of age categories, have a grand prize for each age category, so that would run from 6 and under up to 16 over, like try and get everybody.
Stores are tied to ice cream, gift cards. So we'll still have some left over.
So I think probably in January, we want to try and coordinate going out and trying to get
donations of small or large, even if they were like $5 towards cards, that would be great for some certain number of points, and then if we can get bigger, well, stuff to kind of motivate people to get more points.
This might be something that we could come up with a graphic for it and a sign up sheet. Some businesses might want to put it in because it encourages people to go around and find a way to make a link on that.
So was there a kind of flush out what levels of points to
Yeah.
expect and how we want to advertise it?
Timing it for winter break, I think that's in February. Something to do.
I think if we did it, if we released it a week or two before that,
Yeah.
people would have
We're
those
gonna get around on the backpacks.
Okay, so do you wanna like get like maybe a smaller committee to work with and then, you know, beginning of January or something, have a meeting or mid-January or something like that?
Which I think most of what looks challenging is gathering donations and prizes.
Yes, okay.
So we might be able to do that over email,
Okay, great.
try and send out a shared list or something so we don't harass everybody too much.
Yes, yes.
I think
Good.
a really broad spectrum of value and who it would appeal to, I think would be a goal to have it be a really community-wide, to targeted kids.
I love the fact, you know, like the brewery or something, I think.
Outside
the box.
Yeah.
I mean, can people get points too by visiting some of our partners, like, for instance, go up to Up Yonder Farm or go to the Conservancy here and
Like a passport.
if we work with them,
Yeah,
but-
that's true.
yeah, like, and they also have prizes like their logoed decals.
Yeah.
And stuff like that, that they would, you know, probably give as a prize or something.
Which we could, we might be able to get some more details or something.
Right.
That too is, it's good to you guys understand, but if it's any.
They can use
Good
books for
flip sides.
prizes too. They got lots of Christmas books left.
No, I was thinking we could even.
Look at all that stuff in the free bin there.
Right,
Yeah.
Vineyard has some of our Christmas things too,
Yes.
big little like rice bag hand warmers to microwave. We could make more of those, just have like little hand warmers. We could make stuff too.
Let's see, Andrew's, he's knitting now, right?
Yeah. Did a whole collection of those.
Yes.
Tell me about it.
Yes. So that's
Fingers
exciting. I think this will be a great program. It's such a great time of year to you know, get people.
Yeah, so if you would do anything to do something like that this summer, but
Right.
it seems like a good community.
Right, yeah, because the
Right.
budget is really big too. But thank you very much for spearheading that. That'll be great.
I'll probably be wanting some testing, tracking. But in January.
Okay.
The prize bins.
Yes. Yeah, so just, you know, send out emails and let us know what all you need. 2026 funding for Salon Overdrive collection. What that was about, we can add that in there.
I believe we get a portion, all the libraries are, have to pay a portion to.
Right.
And that's the digital, material, ebooks, e-magazines that with your library card you can access to Sal's Overdrive. Salon stands for, Sal's on.
Right, so that's divided up based on how many uses our area uses, so we have a lot lower usage than say Saratoga,
Correct.
but we may have a higher usage than Oregon.
I think when I saw it come through, ours was a few $100.
$610 for 2026. We were $638.98 this year. So next year expense, starting budget is $610.20.
So it went down.
It did go down, yeah. Did go down. They're asking why, I wonder if it's on the agenda here because they're asking, you know, is that if your library wishes to contribute more and your required contribution, please respond to this email by Friday, January 30th with the additional amount you wish to contribute. We didn't receive this email, like I we budgeted $640 or so on for 2026. That's what the budget now. They're asking us to pay $610.
We can decide whether we want to, does it put credit toward next year? No.
Are we there? Please.
No.
We've never contributed more than invoiced amount.
I think if we stick with the invoice and we have that amount left in the budget, we might need it for some other, that we can shift it to.
Yeah, because it's, we budgeted $640, the expense is $610, so that $30 would be.
Price or some of that or something, yeah, so it'll be good to use it. And Sal's is launching a new partnership with We Are Instrumental to help put instruments into the hands of local students. I don't know if that has any bearing on us, but that's a nice thing to know, I guess. Do you know if there were any communications, Sarah? Did she give you any communications at all? No. Okay. Events, we're still doing trivia 3 nights.
Yep, 3 Tuesdays
3
each month.
Tuesdays.
4 if it's a 5 Tuesday a night or month. The 3rd Tuesday of each month is book club.
Is and that still seems to be the best night and the most sought after. I mean, that's what everybody in the community thought would be the best night for it.
Yeah, it seems to work for them. I emailed the head of the Bolton Senior Citizens and she just sent me their calendar. So I could kind of see when are they doing things.
I just put them on there. It's on our calendar, not too. She
Oh,
just
good.
sent me it the other day.
Great.
So kind of look at future programming and when our target audience and our folks who want to attend.
So folks, at the after school program, will we be able to continue doing that or how will that?
We'll have to see in the
I don't
rough
mind.
weather, they come or they stay there.
Right,
But I
so
don't
we
think
go
I
there.
can do
Yeah,
that.
But
It's a
here I,
busy meeting.
yeah, I don't mind doing it here or read a book and do a hard activity.
Is that
If the day I can't make it, then I
Yeah.
just don't, you know.
well, do you go over there then, or they'll come
Yeah.
here? Because I know when the snow gets high.
Right, yeah,
it's-
usually, oh, we go there.
Do you, will you coordinate that with her like a couple days
Sure.
before?
On
my
like
God.
Abby's number.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's because it's.
And then if anybody else was interested in doing that, you know, it's fun to do if you happen to be available, if you need an extra set of hands or anything for any
So
particular.
what we've been
program.
doing lately is, like Megan will read, and then we call a few over to our projects to get it done, because a lot of times the parents come early, the kids never get a chance to start it, so that's why we try to.
Divide it up.
Divide it up. Hopefully.
Yeah, so if anybody's interested in helping with that, or you know, you're gonna talk about those, maybe Lynn would be, she used to go over there every once in a while, right? So you talk to her about it. But let us know, you know, you can always shoot out an email to the group and say, are you available this Thursday, we're doing this, and I could use an extra set of hands, and then people can come over. Fiber Arts Group is still going, coffee hour.
Yeah, they switched it to 3:30.
And the coffee hour got snowed out, but they came the next week.
They
right?
did, and I think we had about 10 folks there, so.
Great. And the Pay with Patrice, we think we'll get enough signups to have it every month?
We'll find out. We
Yeah,
have 2 for Thursday.
oh, okay, so she may decide to cut
She
it
might.
down. or-
She likes the smaller group. She's okay with 8, but
Okay,
we find I think that might be tough to make on a monthly
I
basis.
think so too.
Yeah.
Your point, let George know. They have on all their meeting things on their calendar, they have a note at the bottom that they only want people to do 1 per month, so they don't have all their meetings. So I wonder if people, like George, they do a thing called for free, I think that's
Yeah.
funded, but they might have
Okay, so.
Veronica does send out, she has a list of
Yes.
anybody who's ever,
Checks with
and,
us.
and she'll send it out and say, I need it, you know,
If we're not full,
Right.
she'll send it to
that
everybody.
would go to the Lake George people.
I did a couple more with the holiday. The other issue with that is, we're competing with Up Yonder, they do free with Teresa's too.
Mhm.
But,
W
and the price is the same, $30 a person, but Up Yonder has a grant to subsidize it or funds from the county. So they only charge people $17 plus the parking if you're not a member. So it's hard, I think, people are looking at, you know, they don't care about which picture they're painting. You wanna pay $17 or do you wanna pay 30 for the exact same class, and so it's a tough one to compete with some months. That being
guess-
said, Teresa's great.
Right, she is great, but if she decides that that's too often and she's not feeling them, I guess kind of leave that up to.
I think so, and we have a really good relationship with her, so if it's looking like every month is just too much, probably easily drop down to every other, and she would be fine with that.
Okay.
And we did talk about the LARAC grant, just taking a 1-year break from it, doing it again for the following year.
Okay.
So do you know if anybody has made any comment about the handicap spot? Megan would say she wished the trees was a pro.
No, not that I've heard,
Okay.
but it's definitely too small.
Well, yeah, but the town won't be able to do anything about it. That was an outside group that paid it. So they have
Oh.
to hire them and say, come back and do it right. And that must be, who knows, maybe.
I was gonna say that the 88 numbers are pretty specific for width and locale, so
Well,
that
it's-
could have been not the first time.
You'd think.
What I'm thinking though is, my head is, I'm already jumping ahead to, I think that they should redo it for free.
They are.
Okay, wonderful.
The town is taking care of it.
Oh, that's great.
It's just, I was thinking, in the meantime,
Well, Bellhop loaned us a couple
Yes.
pylons,
Yes.
so we're gonna, before Patrice comes, we'll have that blocked off, so the first 2 spaces will be
Yeah.
designated.
but how do you block it off and still look at trees there? That's my problem.
Well, she'll,
Oh, we know when she comes.
yeah.
Okay,
Well,
but I was just gonna say, could
we
we
have
get
to
another-
leave the second one, so you're blocking the first one and the second one.
Right.
And then when she comes, she knows she can come into the blocked.
Right, if we have. If we can get a handicap sign, like the one that's on the building, we could put a handicap sign on Velcro, stick it on just when she's here. And then take it off so the rest of the time, if it doesn't seem to be a problem, that might be easier to do it, then you don't have to worry about getting the pylon out there, getting it out of the way. I just thought it might be an easier way to do it for the winter until they get something.
Yeah,
Do you purchase them?
I think so, but with Patrice, it's, we do know when she comes, if seems like it's gonna be an issue, maybe we could look into that, but maybe
Well, I can
otherwise.
see somebody pulling it just before you're ready to put the pylon.
We're not that busy.
Well, yeah, and then-
But I like your enthusiasm.
And you could, as they come in, just say, sorry, I was just gonna, cut your move down.
Yeah.
I'm sure most people would.
Just something else to add, the new garden center over there has people that are new, their name is Gordon. And he told me that on Wednesday nights when we meet, we can park there. We can park there anytime it's not their business hours.
Okay,
So,
I don't think they actually contemplated that thing.
Yeah. That you could do that, and then for programming too, if it's at night,
Yeah.
and stuff like that, so that's nice that they're.
I want to take advantage of it.
Right.
that's good. It's a lot easier for us to turn around. Right out. Yeah.
Okay.
Really.
We're gonna
Yeah,
lose the space.
yeah, okay.
Yeah.
That's right, that's that rock is there.
I don't know, a lot of you heard that the wreath making ended up being canceled because of for Ellie.
And I did it the last 2 years, so she ties beautiful bows and her mom taught her. So she said, when you do your wreath, I haven't got to gather the green yet. I don't think I can do it without her. She keeps saying, I'm ready for the bow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's too bad. But we had book club last night, and she said she couldn't come, but she sent cookies. She's such a baker, you know?
Yeah.
Is she-
good baker.
Can she not get up the steps because of her?
Well, she has like a brace on, and she just thought it would, she could be too much. Yeah.
It's a lot to
Yeah.
get around. So, Yeah, seniors helping seniors, actually, it says to be announced, but we actually had it already, right, December
I
15th?
think they did it, yes, on Monday.
Yeah,
And,
yeah, so seniors and.
right, 2 seniors came to help out in the afternoon, and I think, Megan had said, 2 seniors came to get some help. One had to leave early, and the kids helped one with her device.
So it's high school seniors helping people who are over 60.
So technically,
Yes.
Help, yep.
Yes.
And we have talked with Sue Faust's son Jack, he's a senior, and he's gonna bring a friend, and we're gonna do at least a Saturday. And try that for a different day.
So that'd be good. Yeah. That would be great.
maybe they do what my kids do. Go.
And then making vision boards, that's coming up on January 10th, is that
The
still,
17th.
is that not the right?
Flyers.
I have to check, there's a flyer somewhere around on that, I think it is the later date though.
Oh, okay, so that.
Yeah.
Where are they?
I think that's when Megan has set aside a lot of the magazines that we've weeded, and I think they cut out and then just kind of a collage style. Kind of a fun arts and crafts and, motivational, inspirational thing you can make, and good reason to get out of the house on a cold weather night, play with glue. Everybody likes that.
Oh, that, so is it at night or is it 11 a.m.?
Oh, maybe it is on that, I've got to check, I don't know, I make the graphic. I get it, I put it out there and then it's gone. But yeah, let me check on that date. But she is all set, we do have magazines, and Megan was getting, I think she'd ordered some poster board,
Okay,
so that should be fun. I think, that was a Saturday,
yeah.
it's a Saturday. They talked about trying to do some programs on Saturdays.
All right, so, any additional comments from the trustees? Did I skip over or miss anything, or anybody else have anything that they wanna announce? Well, there is, still do have one more spot to fill, on the board. So when you're out in the community, you can try to, recruit someone, that would be great, because it's nice to have 9 people on the board. We could use some extra help. The other thing is for next year, we will formulate new committees. If you want to stay on the same ones, you can. If you want to be on some new ones, you can. Let me know what you're interested in. Of course, we have to try to spread it out so we have at least 3 people on each committee. So think about how you would like to serve. If you would like to try something different or stay where you are. And so the next meeting then is going to be January 21st. Well, I think we did vote on, did we officially vote?
Yeah, it just says in the bylaws that either the date time will be decided.
Decide, that's right, I said, okay. So next month it will be January 21st, and the following month it will be February 18th. And then we'll talk then about if we want to continue that.
January 1st, meeting 21st.
Right, and February 18th. All right, we don't have anything else. Could have a motion to end the meeting for time business.
I'll make a motion.
Okay, all those second, second, Tracy, all those in favor, say aye. Aye. Those opposed? Okay, before we go, though, I wanted to, I'm pulling off too. I made some cookies here and I just want to